Hey everyone, this is Steven, the Road Collector again. Just did a little video on my dubia roach colony, so I figured I'd go ahead and show everyone too my little setup for the mealworms. It's a very simple setup. You see it everywhere on YouTube. It is very easy to use. All it is, one of those little 3-drawer systems you get at Walmart, Kmart, Target. You know, you can get it whatever size. You can get them small like this, like that. Use them for anything and everything. They're great. I went ahead and just went with like the smaller size for right now. Until my colony gets established, then I'll get a bigger system, deeper, more substrate. What I actually use for substrate is Quick Oats that you get at Walmart, just the cheapest brand. It's like $2–3. It's big enough for them to cling on to and move around with, but it's not real compactive to where they're going to get stuck in there. What I also do is I take toilet paper rolls and I cut them in half. Oh, there's a darkling beetle right there. The mealworms, they pupate and then turn into a darkling beetle. The beetles then lay eggs, which become the worms again. So what you actually want to do is have a small little drawer system. You want to have about, with the 3 drawers, have one set for beetles, one set for worms, and then the other one set for, pupae or your little tools that you use all the time. Here we go. See, they just hide out, eating the oatmeal. I haven't had a single one die yet. If it has, and they've been eating it. I started out with about 30, I think like 3 dozen of the worms. So I've got about 36 beetles running around in here. They are everywhere. You dig through and find them in the, yep, it's just hiding out. So they eat the substrate, they eat the oatmeal. It's real easy for them to break up and chew on. I throw carrots in here. I throw the rinds to oranges, apple cores, everything. Just any kind of normal fruit or vegetable that's moist in here for some hydration, something for them to drink. They can't drink just normal water, so you give it to them in their food. Now, a technique that I want to do is once the colony starts to get a little established, I'm going to actually cut out the bottom here. See them all in there. Yep, those are little beetles hiding out. I'm going to cut out the bottom and put a screen at the bottom. I've seen this technique on YouTube as well. Very good idea. I just didn't do it this one. I don't have screening yet. It's like $6 at Walmart. I ran out of my last roll before I started doing this, so I just need to go get another one and do that. But by putting the screening on the beetles, when they lay their eggs, and the babies will try and go down as far as they can. They'll fall through the screen into the drawer on the bottom, which will hold all your little baby worms. And that way they don't get eaten by the beetles themselves. The beetles will eat their young. This colony is fairly new, so I don't have any of the actual big worms yet. They are just little itty bitty. They look like little parasitic worms. So let me see if I can find one here. Let's put this drawer back. Take this one out. Let's see if we can find an itty bitty one. Not quite. They're not as big as what you'd find in a pet store yet, but I definitely noticed that they were starting to show up in here. Here we go. See them running around? Those are the little babies born probably just did a few days to a week ago. So that's why I went ahead and separated them out. That way the beetles didn't try and eat the little mealworms. So it'll take them some time. I think about a month or so before they get big enough to where I can feed them to my lizards and everything. But I do the same thing up here, just carrots for them to eat, and then here's some more, and then just the substrate that they eat along with the carrots for their food, for hydration. So Pretty easy. Look how small that is. That would easily fall through some window screening, so I think the little technique will work excellent. I was waiting to also see what kind of screening I need to buy. I was afraid, you know, that the babies would be too big for the other one. I wasn't quite sure how a fresh newborn mealworm looked, so now that I know just normal window screening will be perfectly fine. So yeah, that's just pretty much it. Small little setup right now until you know the colony starts to really establish, and you can increase the size of it, or even set up a different one. You know, just whatever you want to do. Real easy, real easy. The third drawer here, like I said, what you can do is when you go through your worm drawer, find any pupaes, and you throw them in this separate drawer along with like any of your extra tools or anything, and then just throw a little bit of oatmeal down here so that way when the worms actually pupate into the beetles themselves, they have something to eat other than try and eat their pupae. Now this is kind of what the pupae will look like, but this right here is not a pupae of a mealworm or darkling beetle. This is actually, come here you, it's wiggling around too much. I don't know if anyone could tell what that is. This is, there we go, see the stripes. It's actually a larvae or a pupae from a domestic beetle. So this is the little flesh eaters that you can put in a tank. Come on, focus. There we go. So it's yep, there we go. Yeah, just a little not darkling, flesh eating. Just pupated a couple days ago, so it'll probably be like this for a week or two, and then it'll be a little beetle, and then it'll go back in my cricket enclosure. So yeah, I keep these around too. Keep them in the crickets. I'm gonna even put them in with my roaches just to help clean up a little bit. That way I don't have to go in and actually do all that work myself. I get them at my local reptile store. They actually throw them in anytime I buy extra crickets and stuff, so it's pretty good. So yeah, also too, here are the water crystals I buy for my feeders. It's Miracle Grow water storing crystals. I get these at Walmart. You might think, uh-oh, you know, pesticides, fertilizers. Well, I actually went ahead, double checked, read the back and everything, and you could see, you know, a lot of the label and everything. Non-plant food ingredients, 100% polyacrylamide, which is just the crystals themselves, so there's absolutely nothing else in there. Tells you, you know, 5-gallon pot, 1-gallon pot, add 2 teaspoons, and then fill the rest up with water. So 2 teaspoons to make a gallon. Well, maybe not. That's just a pot if it has like soil and stuff in it. The best way I do it is 1 ounce of the crystals themselves to make 1 gallon of crystals, and this is a 12-ounce bag. I paid $7 for this to make 12 gallons. This will last me a good 6 months or so, easily. A lot longer than that. Let's see what else here. You also want to double check, make sure, you know, it says non-plant food ingredients. Also not recommended for use as a fertilizer substitute. So this is completely just the crystals themselves. So it is perfectly safe for your feeders. I used it originally on a small amount of crickets just to make sure none of the crickets died. Fed them to some of my insects. They didn't die, so it's perfectly fine. Then I've started feeding them to my lizards and everything. The crickets that eat these to my lizards, no problem. So definitely still double check, because you never know, they might change something at any point, but always double check, read the labels. Other than that, yeah, this is what I use. Boom, just like that. $7. 12 ounces makes 12 gallons. Or you go to PetSmart, Petco, buy a little jar like what I use, like what I actually mix it in, the little feeder jars, for $7, and that's 2 ounces worth of actual the gels itself. So, I don't know, better deal here, you know. I actually got the idea from some people online, a subscriber, not a subscriber of mine, but a person I subscribe to, Rob C, Tarantula guy. He actually gave me the idea. As soon as I saw that video, I was like, I gotta find those. And I looked around, went to my reptile store, asked them where they could get them, and he says he buys his in bulk from California from a plant grower. So that gave me the idea. I started looking around. I bought these, showed it to him, and he's like, you know what, those would work out just fine. There's no additives, nothing like that. It's just the crystals. So $7. Keep an eye out. Walmart Garden Center. So yeah, any other questions or anything, just let me know. This is pretty much a simple little setup for the mealworms. So, alright, thank you for your time. Let me know if you got any questions.